who've dialed in, and welcome to the thousands of participants who are joining us online right now. We're going to make the most of the next 2 hours because I think we all know that the time for health reform is definitely now. Today is an opportunity to raise the volume a few notches higher and help our legislators and leaders see the urgency for an effective, immediate, bipartisan solution to health care reform. It's also a chance to hear several opinion leaders share their views about what comes next. At AARP, we believe the time for action is right now. And finally, there's a recognition, not just by the public, but by our leaders, that achieving national financial security will only happen by achieving national health security. It's a package deal that we know is long overdue. AARP's 40 million members are 50 years old or older, but health reform isn't just about us. As an organization, we're committed to lowering costs, improving patient care, and ensuring affordable health care choices for all Americans. Now, there's no question that health care is critical to the livelihood of older Americans. People over 50 typically have more chronic conditions than our younger counterparts. That's a problem for a lot of people ages 50 to 64. Too often, they can't afford health care, especially if their employers don't provide it. At the same time, they're too young for Medicare, but earn also too much for Medicaid eligibility. So we're fighting an affordable health set of plans for people in this age range, regardless of their health status, and that's an important part of reform. So is strengthening Medicare for current and future generations. That means lowering costs, eliminating waste, fraud, abuse, medical errors, and poor patient care, and not just for Medicare, but throughout the entire healthcare system. I think we all agree we just can't accept it anymore. Reform must also create greater options for long-term services at home and in the community, not primarily in institutions. Let's talk about cost. Our children must not bear the cost of reform alone, nor should retirees. Neither generation should be crushed with this burden. So the cost of reform must be spread across all generations. Representatives of Congress are with us today. They've heard our call to the legislature and the president to develop common sense, bipartisan solutions for reform. They do know what's at stake. There are a lot of people on this phone line. Maybe some of you are just one medical emergency away from bankruptcy or foreclosure, if not financial ruin. That's not the American way. Enough waste, enough overcharging. We shouldn't have to demand quality or value or affordability, but that's exactly what we're doing, and our future depends on our working this out. We really hope that you're fully engaged today. We may not have the time to answer every question, but we'll answer as many as we can. You'll also have a chance to respond to audience survey questions, so please stay tuned on the line and continue to listen. In this great nation of ours, it's our right to speak freely. It is our right to insist on effective action from our leaders. But these aren't just rights. They're responsibilities, and not to be taken lightly, because we know, once again, the time to act on health reform is now. So thank you once again for joining the forum, and thank you to Andrea Koppel for moderating our session.
Oh, Jenny, thank you so much, and thank you